The human rights campaigners are asking government to extradite former Gambian leader Yahya Jammeh to Ghana for his role in the killing of 56 migrants, including 44 Ghanaians in 2005. A 2008 ECOWAS inquiry into the murders concluded the 56 were killed by a rogue element in the Gambian military. The group, however, says it has uncovered fresh evidence which show the crimes were state-sponsored. 2 years after Mr. Jammeh's overthrow, JoyNews' Justice Beidou traveled to the Gambia to find out more. Here is his special report.
Martin Shre dreamt of a better life in Europe, but that would remain only a dream. He and 56 others were caught up in one of the most brutal massacres under Yahya Jammeh. Now he is the lone voice fighting for justice.
It's okay, they are going to kill us. Everybody was crying. So we left from that road to the forest where the pickup finds its way through the forest, and we get to a valley, and I try to get off my hand from the wire, and I said, hey guys, my hand is off. And they said, okay, it's God who wants to save you so that you can tell the world how and why Jammeh have killed us. You should tell our people that we are not able to make it. We are dying, we are here. They should pray for us. So while the pickup was about to stop, I jumped from the pickup. And I heard back there, who is that? But I did not look back. I decided to jump. 1, 2, 3, about 4 steps. I was tied by something in the forest there, and it brought me down. Then the gunshot passed over me. Everywhere, bullets, everywhere. So I decided to relax small. So they take another direction and shooting there. So I just wake myself up, and I heard a shout from the back there. Oh God, save us! Oh God, save us! Eradigio, Eradigio! And gunshot follows. Then I stopped. These people has been killed.
The riverine coastlines of Gambia is one of its most treasured tourist attractions. Yet it was inside the forests that cover it that some of the worst forms of atrocity committed under its former dictator happened. Among the 56 murdered in cold blood, 44 Ghanaians. Paul Ewua, Kwabena Fosu, Isaac Asante, the list goes on and on. They all have names, even though some were never identified. After 13 years, what remains are the many unanswered questions about who ordered their massacre.
Here, this is where the story began, here in Sali in Senegal. This is where the migrants...
Human Rights Watch has spent more than a year investigating how the killings happened.
But they landed here in Barra. A former jungler who left the team in 2010 and went into hiding spoke to the radio for hours. And we have transcribed that, translated that into English. And that jungler talks about that killing. And he says, we took our orders from the president. There's another jungler that is in detention right now in the Gambia who has said exactly the same thing. The jungler we talked to has also confirmed this. And there are many other insiders who could confirm that the killing happened, that the junglers were only responding to orders from the president. So it would be very difficult to deny such strong evidence.
Out on the streets of Banjul, the Gambian capital, signs of a nation healing wounds from 22 years under a junta leader who ruled with an iron fist. At this victim support center, some of the people who lived the horrors of Jammeh have come to share their stories and look for help. Adama Conte's husband was also killed in 2005. She was pregnant then. Now, with a 13-year-old fatherless daughter, she too is calling for justice.
I am appealing to the Ghanaian government to help the Gambia get justice for their families, since all the Ghanaians were killed in Gambia. Also, my husband was part of them, so we need justice now in Ghana or anywhere else. We need justice there, Gambia or Ghana, justice.
We will face him in court because we want justice. And he also wants justice.
Yahya Jammeh is currently in exile in Equatorial Guinea under the protection of his one-time friend and fellow strongman Obiang Nguema Mbasongo. Mr. Jammeh and his rogue regime have evaded justice for 13 years. Now, with this fresh evidence, it seems there is enough fodder for another attempt to bring closure to this matter. Justice Baidu, JoyNews, Banjul, Gambia.
Okay, so Justice Baidu filed that report, but there are details of a report from an investigative committee that was put together to look into this matter as to who killed the 56. Well, let's take you through those figures now and some of the highlight of that particular report. So we have tried to put that in infographics to make it easier for you to digest, but it still looks packed. Let's go on Skype now, where we're joined by Marion Volkman. She works for the Human Rights Watch, the organization that has been working on this investigation. Hello, Marion.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for your time here on the show. But tell us, first of all, why Ghana has been an option for getting Jammeh to face the law.
Well, in 2017, when the victims came together to reflect on possible options to prosecute Yahya Jammeh, they were all in agreement that it would be very difficult in the coming years to have Yahya Jammeh prosecuted in the Gambia. It's a complex trial. It's, of course, a sensitive one. And that's why Ghana was, so to say, the obvious option, because of the strong link of Ghana with that massacre,
right,
which is the biggest massacre that has happened in the Gambia in the 22 years.
Okay. But do you still think that even now that President Jammeh is out of power and there is somebody else governing the Gambia, that Gambia is still not the option to explore for this?
Well, the government had said so itself. It has said very clearly that it's not yet ready to hold such a difficult and such a complex trial. They have currently in detention some of the former junglers. And even for them, the Minister of Justice said it's too complicated for the justice system right now. And the government has said that Ghana option is an option that they support.
But then, are you able to look in other places? And I'd like for you to tell us how fast you think the Ghana option will be. But there's the ICC. Is this something that you'd want to explore as well?
Well, the ICC has said several times that the crimes that were committed on the 22 years of the Jammeh regime did not meet the threshold. Because the ICC is not only looking at one event.
Right.
For the ICC to be competent, they would need to open a situation on the Gambia.
Okay. Okay.
And therefore, the ICC is not the preferred option for the victim.
Okay. And if Ghana doesn't necessarily yield the sort of result you're looking to achieve, what other options do you think are available for you?
Well, we're quite confident that Ghana will look into this. It had already. Immediately when the crime happened, a high delegation was sent to the Gambia. They were frustrated with the government at the time, requested an international investigation by the UN and by ECOWAS, and therefore believe that Ghana has a genuine interest in opening that file.
Right. Well, Marion, finally, before I let you go, we've seen highlights of the report from the investigations, but it still looked a lot packed. I would like for you to, based on that report, if you were to, assuming you're speaking to directly to the Ghanaian president, to, based on the report, speak to the Ghanaian president as to what exactly you want the Ghanaian government to do, how soon?
Well, first of all, we spoke to the Ghanaian president.
Right.
My colleagues met with the president in April before we released the report. We shared the finding with him. Gambian victims, Ghanaian victims, Ghanaian victims. And he clearly said that it is in his interest to seek justice for 44 of his nationals. So now, of course, it's and the government has officially requested the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to look into the legal and diplomatic implementation of the case. So the Ghanaians are very much aware and involved already. So what needs to happen now is a meeting between Ghanaian officials and Gambian officials.
Okay.
And to prepare for a new investigation, this time more generally, and with Gambia being ready to cooperate fully.
Very well. We'll look forward to that happening. Marion, thank you so much for your time this afternoon here on the show. Marion Volkman is with the Human Rights Watch, and they've been investigating this matter. They've been on the killing of 56 persons in the Gambia, and they're still on it. As and when there's any further development, we'll update you. You know that as usual. We're still watching The Pulse with me, Gifty, and up here. I'm going to take